broadcasting, as Republicans claim NPR and PBS are liberal biased. The rest of the canceled funding is foreign aid. All Democrats voted no. Hakeem Jeffries says that aid's important
to make sure that we're investing in development and diplomacy and democracy all across the world.
But when it comes to cryptocurrency, there was another vote that had some Democrats joining Republicans in support. Fox's Peter Doocy's at the White House.
More than 100 Democrats, including the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, voted to pass the Genius Act last night. That's the one that establishes federal guardrails for U.S. dollar-pegged stablecoins. There was also some Democratic support for the Clarity Act. That's the one that's going to regulate crypto in the U.S.
The president can also sign the Genius Act. It's already approved by the Senate. 2 other crypto bills the House passed have not yet. Now an update on the president's health.
Recent photographs of President Trump have shown swelling around his ankles, a condition that was examined by the White House physician.
And revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reading the results from the president's doctor, who says bruising on President Trump's hand was caused from soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Stephen Colbert broke some news his audience didn't want to hear.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show.
CBS calls it a financial decision. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-785-1155. That's 800-785-1155.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
They got him. The last of the fugitive illegal immigrants who broke out of a detention facility in New Jersey found across the country.
The FBI Newark field office reports that Andres Mogollon was captured in Los Angeles with the help of the Bureau's field office there and the Homeland Security Task Force. Mogollon and 3 others escaped June 12th from Delaney Hall, an ICE detention facility. The others were caught before leaving the state. They all face an additional charge of escaping from an institution or officer. According to an FBI wanted poster, a $25,000 reward was being offered for information leading to Mogollon's capture. In Newark, New Jersey, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Now, there is another fugitive still on the run. Derek Groves. He's a convicted murderer who broke out of a New Orleans jail back in May, along with 9 other inmates who were all recaptured. 2 people who went missing in California have been found, and they helped search crews find them.
A mother and her 9-year-old son set out to find a Boy Scout camp in a remote Northern California forest. Their GPS led them down a remote, unpaved road, and they became stranded and had to ditch their car. As they walked, the pair left behind handwritten notes weighed down by rocks, reading "help." They also indicated what direction they were headed. The pair were reported missing over the weekend. A volunteer search and rescue team responded and found an initial note, followed by a second, and were able to track down and rescue the mother and son. Tom Graham, Fox News.
President Trump's again called the head of the Fed a numbskull. In a Truth Social post this morning, continuing his push for a big interest rate cut, the president wrote Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is hurting so many people, making it difficult to buy a house. On Wall Street, stock futures are up slightly the day after the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 hit record highs. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It's a finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. It's July 18th, 2025. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordy. I'm Sergio Sanchez. The body of a missing fisherman has been recovered from the Brownsville ship channel. The man was reported missing this past weekend after a shrimp boat sank near the LNG location at the port of Brownsville. The name of this man has not been released. In Central Texas, thanks to better weather, the flood recovery effort continues in Central Texas. The death toll is now at 135.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott with the latest briefing from San Angelo, Texas, and Tom Green County, which saw over 14 inches of rain on the 4th of July. They had one death due to the floods and hundreds of water rescues.
The response by local officials was extraordinary. We consider it to be a model for the way that communities need to respond.
The death toll continues to rise in Kerr County, Texas, as well. It's now at 116.
More people lost their lives in Kerrville than those who lost their lives in Hurricane Harvey.
Abbott called this the largest flood in Texas history.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Southeast Texas, the FBI launches a new task force in Metro Houston.
The Regional Homeland Security Task Force in the Houston office of the FBI will be focused on ending the presence of criminal cartels and foreign gangs operating in Southeast Texas. The FBI special agent in charge of the Houston office says the region faces several border-related challenges. The task force will deal with drug trafficking, money laundering, human trafficking, and weapons. The FBI says they will also work closely with local and state agencies as part of their mission.
Stephen Pickering with that report. Cryptocurrency legislation headed to President Trump's desks. Lawmakers voted with plenty of Democrat support. They passed something called the Genius Act. The legislation aims to regulate something called a stable coin. It's a new coin that uses actual assets and currency as a backup. And Peacock is raising its subscription rates by $3 a month. The streaming service from NBC Universal has seen some success with some very popular series. Let's see here. Peacock subscriptions are going up $3 from $10.99. Let's see, with some ads, also $16.99 a month without any commercials. Time is 7:08. It is AccuWeather time, and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordy. I want to say thank you first, though, to Dougie and all the crew at Martin Farm and Ranch. Well, you'll find Purina Feed. Certified dealer for Purina Liquid Feed. That's Martin Farm and Ranch in Edinburgh. You stop by, say hi to Dougie. And meteorologist Jeffrey Nordy joining us. How many of these monthly subscriptions bleed your bank account? Jeff, how many do you have? You got
too many to count.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even remember which ones I have that I pay for. I mean, I have a budget report that shows me which ones, but honestly, if I had to think about it, Hulu has a bundle, so I got 3 out of that.
Okay.
Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN. I have Netflix, Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
Did I say Netflix? If I did, see, like I forget.
See, do you have the NBC ones? There's also Paramount with all the Star Trek.
My sister has that.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple others that aren't paid subscriptions, but we, use them as free ones, and then you have to deal with
that's
ads.
easy. Yeah, that's the easy stuff. It's like the new form of television, right?
Yeah.
Internet television, all the commercials. Yeah, it all adds up. Before you know it, it winds up being the same size as your cable bill.
Yeah, I think I'm at about $100 a month.
From we try to keep it around here to 2. My son, he got hooked on what's the name of it? Squid Game.
Yeah.
Squid Game, right? He got hooked on that. So what he does a temporary subscription to is it Netflix? Is that what it is? Wait.
Yeah.
He buys it like for a month. And he'll binge watch the whole thing. Okay, I'm done.
Yep.
I won't watch anymore. He'll do it like on a little debit card or gift card like that. That's the way he cheats and gets what he wants out of it. All right, let's talk weather. We're stuck in a pattern, triple digit plus for a few days. And let's look at Texas travel weather. You got any rain anywhere in Texas?
I have a little bit. So Houston may see a thunderstorm today, otherwise dry for the foreseeable future. In fact, Texas is dry for the next 7 days. Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. Temperatures will vary. It's kind of interesting looking at them. Upper 90s for both Dallas and San Antonio, but low to mid 90s for Houston. So on the eastern side, it's a little cooler. McAllen, South Texas is upper 90s and triple digits for the foreseeable future.
Okay. Tropical coverage 2025. Southeast Texas, Louisiana. What you got for them?
Well, we got the tropical rainstorm over Louisiana losing its organization, and at this point has lost trackable features. However, there still could be some locally heavy rain over Louisiana through tomorrow. And then leftover moisture from it will enhance rainfall over the Midwest and Ohio Valley. Waves-wise, we got 3 of them, but none are expected to develop at this time. And now we put our date all the way through August 1st with a near zero risk for Texas, a little bit of a risk for, can't say the word, Louisiana to Florida.
All right. Just something to consider if you're traveling I-10 or I-20 the next 24 hours. There's some of the tropical rain out there connecting Houston and Louisiana. The menu today, something likely you wouldn't want to mix unless you use one of those party trays, or the fancy word these days is what do they say, the charcuterie tray or some stupid name like that. Tropical fruit, caviar, and sour candy. Those are the foods that we celebrate today.
Sour candy I love. Caviar I don't think I've ever had.
Sturgeon eggs, I don't think so. And maybe for breakfast we'll go healthy this Friday. A little bit of tropical fruit, some mangoes or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Friday morning. All right, pal. Call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. Your AccuWeather forecast, 100 plus. 101, 102 today. Same thing tomorrow. 102, 103 Sunday. 103 Monday. 104. There you go. So it's just low 100s for the next 5 days. That is your AccuWeather forecast. Time is 7:12 on the Valley's Morning News. The nation's home builders, again, this a national report. National home builders are cutting prices due to weak demand. According to the National Association of Home Builders, almost 4 in 10 of builders said that they are having to cut prices in the month of July to try to move some inventory. First-time requests for unemployment benefits were down in yesterday's report. OpenAI releasing a new tool called ChatGPT Agent.
The tool is an artificial intelligence that can handle some advanced tasks using its own virtual computer. It can do things like look at a user's calendar and brief them on upcoming meetings. It can plan and purchase ingredients for meals or put together something like a slideshow for a presentation. It debuted Thursday, and it's currently available to ChatGPT Pro, Plus, and Team users. I'm Michael Kastner.
And the Transportation Security Administration is opening up 2 new airport security screening lanes.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was at the Nashville International Airport to announce the Honor Lane and a lane for families traveling with young children. The Honor Lane will be exclusively for military members and their families. With the family lane, Noem said she could relate to how difficult it can be traveling with kids, being a mother and a grandmother herself. Noem previously announced passengers can now keep on their shoes at TSA checkpoints. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And other travel-related notes. Check this out, Freddie. Homeland Security, they're evaluating the size of liquids in your carry-ons, from that tiny little bottles that you can take. Maybe you'll be able to take bigger bottles because there is technology. It's been around for a few years that can distinguish between normal liquids and lethal, liquids and things that can blow up, right? Thing is, though, we might see it at our airports starting 2027. Still need to wait a couple of years for that to be implemented. Up next on 710 KURV, you have a business idea or a startup business, engineering-based, aerospace, space industry-related, energy-related. Folks at Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation would like to speak to you about their latest startup program. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Revetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Revettis Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Revettis Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Revettis for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
This is Michael Berry, host of The Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Friday. Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. 710 KURV is home to Houston Astros baseball. They start the second half of the season at Seattle. So 8:40 broadcast pregame from Seattle tonight. Astros baseball made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thank you as well to the Mission Economic Development Office. From the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, Vice President Nathan Burkhart, welcome back. And I saw a mention of Startup Texas and applications for that. So let's start there, Nate. Tell me what Startup Texas is and how local businesses or entrepreneurs can benefit from that.
Yeah, Startup Texas is a 12 to 15 week long accelerator program. This is the program we started back in 2019 when we wanted to invest in homegrown talent locally. It started off as just as a pitch competition for the first 2 years. And the last 3 years, we've actually evolved it into an accelerator program with our partners, UTRGV's Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center. Linda Ufflin and her team run that program. It's been around now for 5 years, and we actually just got a $1.2 million grant from the United States EDA to continue that program for the next 3 years. We're really excited about it, and this is our third cohort with that EDA funding that we have right now.
Yeah, how big is that cohort? And last year and year before that, how many, started that we helped?
We're usually around 22 to 25 to begin with on phase one. And then in phase two, when we kind of whittle it down to companies that have a minimal viable product or an MVP, we usually end up with about anywhere from 8 to 15 graduates.
Man, it is so good to hear that UTRGV, our university, is so plugged into the community, because your entity, along with Harlingen, along with Edinburgh, and all these other, right? All these entities are working with the university and trying to churn the waters and trying to get more startups and more businesses and try to get some improvement funding for them, some capital. Good things taking place. Do you know if the university, just curious because you have conversations with it, have they done an assessment how many businesses, how much employment they've created over the past handful of years as a result of all these different programs, the startup programs and capital programs?
That's a great question. I can speak to Brownsville just because we recently did an audit of all the assistance that we've provided, and we're over at 3,000 in the last 6 years, 3,000 individuals here in Brownsville that we've assisted. Harlingen now has their Harlingen Rise program, which is a spinoff of Startup Texas as well. And I know FAR Global Business Hub, they're doing some stuff with UTRGV as well as Mission with Ruby Red Ventures. So I always like to say, UTRGV is really that glue, that regional economic development glue that is really helping us retain our top talent here. When I was growing up, the number one thing to do was kind of take off and leave to find and seek opportunity. But now with like a really great world-class university like theirs, we can retain our top talent. And then with programs like Startup Texas, we can go ahead and further their ventures and get them to start those companies.
Man, the way things are growing around here, the university and Texas Workforce and the economic development offices and, Valley Chamber, they got to stay like 20 miles ahead and start thinking about the future, right? And they're doing that, especially at the university where it counts, because at the moment, whether it's school districts like Edinburgh and the technical courses that they have, welding and things like that, the colleges, South Texas College, Texas Southmost, and everything related to building and construction. That's the hot item right now at the port. Thousands of jobs. But then you got the engineering gigs right around the corner. And they've got that new office over at the university that deals with engineering courses and things like that. So this startup program, the Startup Texas program, you're opening up applications. So who needs to apply? Who should apply at Brownsville CIC to participate?
Anyone with a company in either tech, manufacturing, healthcare, biomedical, green energy, aerospace. We're not really looking for food entrepreneurs. We have individual programs outside of Startup Texas for that, but we want scalable companies that are looking to grow and do so here in the 4-county region. So what's unique about this cohort and our last two is with that EDA funding, we don't just help out businesses in Brownsville. We can help out businesses in Edinburgh and McAllen and Mission and Farr and Harlingen. And some of our applicants actually come from there as well.
Oh.
Unlike our Space Accelerator program that's keenly focused just on Brownsville because of the way our funding is set up, this funding from the EDA is across all 4 counties.
What in participating, obviously there's training, right? But
Yes.
might there also be capital at the end of the tunnel?
For those within the Brownsville region, we have up to $10,000 in grants for graduates for their prototype. Yeah.
Okay. Nathan Burkhart, Vice President, Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, Startup Texas program up and running. Applications being accepted now through when?
Now until August 15th.
Okay. And you mentioned companies that should complement what's taking place down the street with our neighbor, Elon Musk, at SpaceX, and any other company that might be feeding into SpaceX. The Port of Brownsville with liquefied natural gas, steel, ship construction, all those things, all those hammers flying over there. So you're looking for companies, current companies, or maybe even startups that will complement any and all of that. Was that the same rule last year where you were looking for that, where you got 22 companies to complement that? Because
Indeed, that was the same rule.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they still around? Do you know the 20?
They are. They are. The 22 went through the program, but we only had about 10 last cohort graduate. And before that, it was about 15. And by graduating, I mean those 22 finished the first phase, but not everyone makes it to the second phase. It's a little bit more difficult. You need to have a minimal viable product. You need to have certain levels of scalability. Those that didn't make it to the second phase, they're always welcome to try again for the next cohort.
Better define for me, for working people running around town. First phase, second phase. What? Describe that for me. What
first phase, more ideation level. You have an idea that you want to bring to concept. You go through our accelerator program. It's more of like a pre-accelerator for the first 4 weeks of the cohort. The remaining 8 to 10 weeks could be anywhere from you expanding on that minimal viable product, pitch practicing, getting to a point where you can request capital assistance.
Okay.
That's where we narrow it down, and individuals will participate in our demo day pitch summit.
Yeah. Well, it's great to hear that we have new companies that are feeding into aerospace and space, cargo delivery and liquefied natural gas and all the amazing private sector investment, and of course all the ancillary industries that will feed into that. It's good to hear that startup is creating something like that. And you said that from the ones last year, they're still around. Can you give us a little sample of, well, this business is this other business is that, and these are the more technical based businesses that are started up and they're still around and they're feeding into the growth of the economy.
Yeah, I mean, we have just our from our cohort from last year. We have Reware AI. They use AI tools for vintage clothing. We have car inspectors, carinspections.io. If you think of them as more of like Uber, but for car inspections, if you're looking at a car that you want to purchase in Houston, you go onto the app and a verified mechanic will go and check out that car for you and give you a full assessment. And then you can negotiate with the buyer or with the seller, whether or not you want to buy that car.
Yeah.
We've, in terms of like the energy sector, one of my favorites that's come out of our program is EtherWorks. They use carbon capture technology that is from the International Space Station. They got a licensed NASA technology to do that, to then be able to pump that into greenhouse gases and save on energy. There's quite a few cool companies, and not all of them are companies that have actually won out. The last time I was on your show, we talked about SupplyPay. They went through our accelerator program as well. They weren't a winner overall, but arguably they've been one of the most successful companies to come out of eBridge.
Excellent. And of course, looking for more. So do you get more applications than actual candidates that participate with the training? How many applications versus how many actual folks who sit down for the?
We do. It's probably anywhere from 40 to 50 applications, sometimes more. We like to stress that for food entrepreneurs, unless it's like a very innovative consumer packaged goods company within manufacturing, we'll have separate programs for them. This is really more geared toward tech, aerospace, green energy, healthcare.
You mentioned, who would get a seat at the table if it was food based? It'd be somebody showing up with like a Star Trek type of replicator. Hey, but we can make food, right?
right.
A ribeye steak. Just press the
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
Something like that. Nathan Burkhart, Vice President, Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, against Startup Texas. Application open now to, you said September, right? Something like that. That's it.
It starts in September. Applications are open until August 15th.
Okay, very good. And also the Space Accelerator. Last time you and I talked about that. So for folks who missed that, tell me what that is and how exciting it is that, we're feeding into the aerospace and payload delivery business with SpaceX and anybody else willing to show up to do the same thing.
Yeah, this Space Accelerator program is in partnership with our organization, Greater Brownsville, Cameron County, as well as the Space Foundation out of Colorado. They'll actually be the ones facilitating the program. We're really excited about bringing it down here. It's very, very competitive. That one only has about 8 to 10 spots available. And that's strictly for companies that want to utilize either licensed NASA technology or create space adjacent companies. Those like in agriculture, if you have an innovative way to produce crops that could be used either on a space station or even on Mars. Anywhere to even outfits or clothing designs. There's just so much more in the space economy than just actually building the rockets and the rocket ships. That application actually closes this coming Monday. So deadline's coming up very soon. We're very excited, and it'll be starting. It'll actually be starting early next month.
Well, I got an idea. I might be able to participate with the Space Accelerator. I don't know. I'm inspired by, in Mars, take freeze-dried poof packs and then put it into the soil with some water and then grow potatoes. I don't know, for some reason. That's movie Mars with Matt Damon, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you tried the zip line? Oh, by the way, before I go there, the Space Accelerator applications, that's closing up pretty soon, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And it closes this coming Monday.
In
about 5 days. Yeah.
All right. So how many do you have right now? 5, 6? You could.
We've got probably about 3 to 4 spots left open from the caliber of companies we've seen come in that are more than likely going to get accepted.
And a maximum half dozen, más o menos, right? Half dozen.
Yeah.
You got about 3, so you're halfway there. So more, if you got a business innovation, business idea, something that complements space load delivery into space, living in space, harvesting, farming in space, whatever, something that you can bring to the table, see if we can get it started up. Yeah, you need to be a part of the Space Accelerator. They contact you at BCIC, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, they can even go to spaceaccelerator.org for more information on that specific program. Startuptexas.com if they want to learn more information about that program as well, or brownsvillecic.com just to learn about everything that we're doing as an EDC.
No application fee. You just will be considered. You'll be a candidate. You'll be set. You'll be put into that cohort to participate.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And I'm guessing especially these space-related industries and businesses, they will feed. There's a potential for them to feed off of each other, right, and complement, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point, and that's the thing I love seeing the most is when the startups within our ecosystem begin to collaborate with one another, feed off of each other, give each other ideas, and even work with each other.
Excellent.
One of our top companies here, SupplyPay, has another company called Supply Link that helps manufacturers, and there's a manufacturer here in downtown Brownsville that they connected with that also came out of our Startup Texas program, one of the first 5 years ago, and now they're utilizing their technology for their company. So just kind of seeing those collaborations and connections be born here at the center is really great.
Great to hear. There's that synergy. I'm running out of time here real quick. Downtown improvement, parks, anything else you need to mention you want folks to know about taking place?
BCIC is focused on entrepreneurship and quality of life. And part of that quality of life, we're really excited that the downtown master plan is underway. The zip line over at the zoo is now open if anyone wants to enjoy that. And very soon the ropes course over at Camp Rio up in North Brownsville will be open to the public as well. So a lot of really great quality of life amenities coming on board.
That ropes course course. What is it? Is that like one?
It's one of those where it's just a really tall course for ropes training. You're going to be. It's almost like you're dressing up to go bungee jumping. It's really great for team building exercises, for camping, for elementary students, and anywhere from elementary to adults. It's a great experience.
Ready, Miko? Where does it work? What's the name? Your son, Joshi. They got those at Main Event, right? Or you talking about those towers where you strap up, you get a rope, and then you walk around all those elevated.
It's something like that, but it's outdoors and it's really tall. Main Event's kind of restricted with the ceilings that they have. This is extremely tall.
Yeah, I won't be getting on that. my feet are already tingling thinking about how high those things might be. Have you tried the zip line at the zoo?
Yeah, I have. It's really fun. It's really exciting. I recommend everyone try it out.
All right, and it's open now, right?
It's open now. You can see Matamoros from the very top, right before they let you go. It's a really great experience.
Nathan, continued success, brother. Call us anytime, and appreciate all the work you and the crew are doing.
Thank you, Sergio.
Vice President, Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, Nathan Burkhart. Be well, brother. And if you missed any of the conversation, we invite you 710 KURV YouTube, X, and 710 KURV Facebook through the Rewind. Also, rewind the audio portion of Radio Planet Me is the free app. Your station for Astros baseball, News Talk 710 KURV. Check out sports up next. Happy Friday.
Spotlight on Your Health. Brought to you by DHR Health.
From the ENT Institute at DHR Health, ENT specialist, Dr. Alastair Lynn McRae.
ENT or otolaryngologist. My training was after medical school was in Chicago at Northwestern University. I do pediatric and adult patients. I'm also board certified in sleep medicine, so I take care of people with obstructive sleep apnea, snoring, those kind of problems too. Because here's a place with lots of allergies, but down here we've got problems with the fact that we're all gaining weight. Snoring and apnea is a real problem for a lot of people. I was first introduced to DHR when I first came down to the Valley, which is now a long time ago. And there's been a huge growth and huge change. And it's always been an impressive place, but now I think it's got a potential to be a major medical center on par with any of the big ones that I've ever been associated with before in Chicago or New York City. I mean, it's definitely got that potential. I mean, the market is growing. I think the professionalism and their determination to make this as good quality as you can get anywhere else. There's nothing missing here. They have a complete suite of all the equipment you could possibly want. So in terms of the surgical options and procedures that we could offer anyone, and diagnostic procedures, there's pretty much everything here. It's always possible to find those things, but here it's all in-house. It's a lot easier to arrange those kind of things. That's one thing I've noticed. And when I first got to the Valley, if you had a serious medical problem, a lot of people would be thinking, what do I need to drive to Houston or San Antonio? And so actually, it was sometimes the right thing to do. At this point, if it was me or a family member, it was very unlikely that I'd find a good reason to get in my car and drive 6 hours.
From the DHR Health ENT Institute, ENT, Dr. Alastair Lynn McRae, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health. Brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
Be listening to News Talk 710 KURV for your chance to win tickets to the Texas Hunters Expo 2025, July 18th through the 20th at the McAllen Convention Center. Meet Pedro Soares, host of Con Caña y Carete, the biggest expo in South Texas.
Later tonight, tune in for Houston Astros baseball as they visit the Seattle Mariners. First pitch at 9:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute. The Rangers have some concerns going into second half of the season, and TV voice Dave Raymond shared what the main focus is.
Yeah, my concern is the bullpen. I would want to do something to help out the back end of the bullpen.
Rangers play tonight at 7:05 versus the Tigers. And Houston will start with the second half with the left-hander Brandon Walter on the mound tonight against Seattle. The Houston Astros won't start the second half with either aces, Framber Valdez or Hunter Brown, seemingly as to add some extra rest for their top pitchers. Astros will face Seattle tonight at 9:10. I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute.
Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark is not participating in the WNBA All-Star Game or three-point contest. Reports say the 23-year-old guard will miss the festivities. due to lingering injury issues. Clark has missed 11 games this season due to the injuries. All-star events begin Friday night with the three-point contest and skills challenge. The Pittsburgh Steelers are signing pass rusher TJ Watt to a record-setting 3-year contract worth $123 million. The deal makes Watt the NFL's highest-paid defender, as well as the highest-paid non-quarterback in league history. And the Open is underway in Northern Ireland. The last major of this year's golf season is taking place at the Royal Portrush Golf Club. That's sports. Colin McIntyre.
AccuWeather says hot, hot, hot. Triple digits plus, like 102 today, tomorrow, the next day, 103, Monday, Tuesday. There you go. That's South Texas summer weather. Right now, let's check here. 77 here at Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh. Brownsville, Starbase, coming in at 78 degrees. Border Bridge wait times, as posted on KURV.com. Headed back to McAllen, about 30 minutes. Hidalgo, 40 minutes at the Far Bridge at last check. And headed back to Brownsville, 30 minutes, B&M Gateway, and the Veterans Bridge. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us for Astros play-by-play. They're 6 games ahead of Seattle. Go Astros. They'll be in Seattle. 8:40 pregame, 9:10 first pitch, made possible by our supporters, including the Mission Economic Development Office. Check of business news up next. Now would be a good time to go visit with JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment. You can get an awesome deal on those Kubota compact tractors, more tractors that you need for all the work that you have over at the lease, at the ranch. Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh, Monte Cristo, for the #1 selling compact tractor line in the country. That would be Kubota, the LX series. Premium features, very comfortable, versatile. It is Kubota. I mean, you'll find it at Amigo Power Equipment. Check this deal. Right now at Amigo Power, get select LX 2620 SU series for as low as $19,999 or $295 per month. Now through September 30th, go to KubotaUSA.com, get more specific disclaimer and other information. Again, select LX 2620 SU Kubota series for as low as $19,999 or $295 per month. Visit with JP and Jeff. Get all the details at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Davis Rankin here, asking, are you craving the real taste of Mexico? Well, at Zamora's Restaurant, every bite's a fiesta of flavor. Savor hand-rolled tortillas, fresh guacamole, and made-from-scratch salsa, all crafted with tradition and love. And whether it's a family dinner, a night out with friends, a celebration, Zamora's Restaurant brings fresh, bold flavors and warm hospitality to your table. At Zamora's, you'll also find an array of mouth-watering dishes. They offer daily specials, showcasing a different culinary highlight each day, enticing regular visitors to explore new flavors. The staff's not just employees, they're part of Zamora's family, dedicated to making every one of you feel valued and appreciated. Visit Zamora's Restaurant at any of their 3 locations in McAllen and Edinburgh. So next time you're craving authentic Mexican flavors, authentic South Texas Tex-Mex food, Zamora's Restaurant is your go-to destination. Zamora's Restaurant, where every meal is a celebration.
Surprise leaks, power outages, or a busted AC on a 100-degree day? You don't need that stress. At Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, we've got you covered year-round with our Home Shield membership. You get priority service, exclusive discounts, annual system checkups, and real peace of mind. From clogged drains to flickering lights to keeping cool when it matters most, we're just a phone call away. Call Mighty Mike's today or visit callmightymike.com and ask about our Home Shield membership. Mighty Mike's, reliable, ready, right on time.
It's time to help our neighbors in the Texas Hill Country. This is Dennis Quaid. Would you please contribute to the local relief effort through the Kirk County Flood Relief Fund at communityfoundation.net? Thanks.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. On the economic front, investors are eyeing the preliminary reading for July consumer sentiment data due out later this morning. Economists polled by Dow Jones are expecting it to show a reading of 61.8. That's up from the prior reading of 60.7. Data drops at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Republican-controlled House has given final passage to a bill that cuts roughly $9 billion from public broadcasting and foreign aid. The bill now goes to President Trump's desk for his signature. Sunday is National Ice Cream Day. You know there are deals and steals to take advantage of. Here are just a few. At Dippin' Dots, you can get 25% off your online order. At Dunkin', get triple reward points whenever you order any frozen drink. And at Talenti, buy one, get one 50% off when you go to Target. That one is active all week long. Futures are slightly higher ahead of inflation data later this morning. Thursday, the Dow Industrials gained 229, the NASDAQ up 155. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says merciless. There's going to be 100 plus. 101, 103. That's the range between now and, let's say, at least next Monday, Tuesday. So no rain in sight for South Texas. Tropics, if you're traveling on I-10, I-20 between the Texas-Louisiana border, likely will be busy with some tropical rain the next 24 hours. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. There's a new Smurf movie. Right. Something for the Wakio, something for the kids. Let's see if movie mom Nell Minow liked it. She'll join us in about 4 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. Celebrate every morning. You get out of bed with your own strength. Thank you, Jesus. You're alive today, able to enjoy the sounds, the sights, the flavors of life. And part of that for us in South Texas, we got the advantage over pretty much everybody else around the planet. South Texas Mexican food, as expressed by the pros, the experts at El Pato. Every single El Pato restaurant. Right now, you can get a bag full of breakfast tacos made fresh, just like, let's say, mom or abuelita in the kitchen, just slaving over that stove. Yeah, we got experts, culinary experts at all these El Pato restaurants. They're working on those tortillas, rolling those tortillas out, putting them on the skillet. Fresh tortillas off the skillet. Oh, they smell so good. They look so beautiful. You can get some breakfast tacos with egg, chorizo, potato, cheese, refried bean, bacon, ham, whatever you wish, put it in there. Even some barbacoa tacos, if that's what you're craving right now. At every El Pato restaurant, get some breakfast tacos, some breakfast patos. Don't forget the big special all day long at El Pato. It is the enchilada and fajita pato plate. Yes, the fajita with a fresh flour tortilla full of beef fajitas, the 2 enchiladas, either cheese or chicken, rice and bean, and the drink. An amazing $9.99 for a limited time at every El Pato restaurant.
Jay Gonzalez, the Valley's top lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Jay Gonzalez is simply the best. If you've been injured in a crash, call 1-800-CAR-CRASH today.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
As we move into the hurricane season, McAfee Agency Insurance reminds you that your checklist should include more than batteries and bottled water. Review your insurance policy or get one before the storm. Once it enters the Gulf, you won't be granted coverage. Keep in mind a 30-day waiting period for flood insurance and make sure you have an endorsement for windstorm insurance. Should you have any questions, call the McAfee Agency at 956-565-2481. That's the McAfee Agency at 956-565-2481.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
News and weather information at your fingertips.
Just follow these easy steps.
Log on to KURV.com. KURV.com. News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV for July 18th, 2025. Show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and stand by for Mom. Movie mom Nell Minow just seconds away to tell us if that new Smurfs movie is any good. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The House bending to President Donald Trump's request to claw back about $9 billion in federal spending.
More than $1 billion in public broadcasting, $135 million for the World Health Organization, and millions more from other programs like climate initiatives abroad. Democrats, though, argue the bill threatens lives around the world, cutting foreign aid. They also say it amounts to a geopolitical win for China and Russia, which they say will fill the void.
Fox's Madeline Rivera in Washington. Attorney General Pam Bondi says she's going to request the release of grand jury testimony related to Jeffrey Epstein.
President Trump called for the release, citing a, quote, ridiculous amount of publicity given to Epstein. The request falls short of what some congressional Republicans have called for, the release of all investigative files collected by the Justice Department and the FBI.
It's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Recovery efforts continue in central Texas, in Kirk County, as a result of better weather. Death toll from the floods now at 135, and dozens still missing. And a cryptocurrency piece of legislation headed to President Trump. They call it the Genius Act, going to create something called a stable coin that's backed up by actual hard currency. Every Friday at this time, you know what that song means? It's movie mom Nell Minow. Every Friday on News Talk 710 KURV, it's movie mom Nell Minow. And man, I recall a time when we were little kids and Mom took us to see the original Smurf cartoon. When was that, Mom? Like 20 years ago?
I dozed off during that. Yeah. I'm not a Smurfs fan, but I have to say this one won me over. I kind of dragged myself into it, but I came out with a smile. Maybe it's because you know who produced this film? Rihanna.
I know. Who did it? Oh.
Okay. Rihanna.
Right.
She got absolutely A+ voice talent. And, of course, one of her songs is on the soundtrack. There's a lot of good music. And it's very fresh and very fun. I mean, the one thing we know about the Smurfs, aside from the fact that they like to substitute the word Smurf in every sentence, is that every Smurf is named after their one defining characteristic, right? Like Baker Smurf and Clumsy Smurf. And they depart from that a little bit in this one. There are two characters who have like normal names, Ron and Ken, with the voices of Ken Offerman and Kurt Russell. And they're very heroic. I love those two characters. But my favorite new Smurf is Sound Effects Smurf. And you got to keep an eye and an ear on him because he's very funny. So, you know, Smurfland, everything is perfect. Everything is wonderful. And it turns out they have a secret. Papa Smurf has been hiding a magic book that the evil wizards are trying to get. And when No Name Smurf, voiced by James Corden, tries to find something about himself so he can have a real name, the bad guys find him. And it's about what happens then. There's a lot of adventures, a lot of interesting characters along the way. As I said, fantastic voice talent, including Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek and Natasha Lyonne.
I don't think you can say that on the radio.
I think you can say it because it's got two T's in it. And it's the name of a TV
that
show.
Creeks thing.
Yeah, that Creek thing from Canada. So yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Kids are going to enjoy it, and parents won't have to fall asleep this time.
I'm trying to think what my Smurf name would be. Maybe Radio Smurf or
DJ
News Radio
DJ
Smurf.
Smurf.
Right, DJ. I can't convince the salespeople. Like I've tried for years to say, listen, this is news talk radio. We don't DJ spin any music, but anyway, I gave up on that a long time ago. Right? And then Freddie would be producer Smurf. And
yes, Freddie would be producer Smurf. Zach would be Smurf with a beard.
Millennial Smurf, that would be Zach.
Millennial Smurf, right?
Yeah. And if we didn't have the radio thing, I think Freddie would be if we could fuse two and not do any copyright infringement, he would be Batman Smurf.
And I would
Freddie,
be Movie Mom Smurf.
Yeah.
Right?
Movie Mom Smurf.
All right.
So is
we
that
got a
it
lot
for
of
this
scary-
weekend? Is it Smurfs?
No, that's it in theaters, but we got a lot of scary stuff on streaming. Megan 2.0, Opus with Iowa Berry and John Malkovich. And my advice for you is, if you want to watch it, it's very creepy, but I would skip the last 20 minutes, which is just a pointless bloodbath. So forget about that. If you like things like Black Mirror and Twilight Zone, I think you might like The Assessment on Hulu with Elizabeth Olsen, the younger sister of the Olsen twins, about the future time when you need permission from the government to have a child and have to go through a series of very, very, very creepy tests. So that's The Assessment. It's got a really interesting twist ending. But my favorite thing on streaming, definitely this week, it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws, the first movie blockbuster. And there is a behind-the-scenes documentary called Jaws at 50 on Disney+. Fascinating. I learned so much. You know, Jaws was directed by a 27-year-old named Steven Spielberg. I don't know what he did after that. And he's on there telling all kinds of stories about all the things that went wrong and how it went over budget, and he thought he was going to be fired. Really interesting interviews by everybody. I love that. Makes me want to watch the movie again, and you can do that on Peacock. So Jaws, at 50 years old, is on Peacock.
Excellent. Well, have a wonderful weekend. Get some rest, Mom. Thank you for joining us again. That's every Friday on 710 KURV. It's Movie Mom, Nell Minow.
Hi there. My name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Ambleside School of the Rio Grande, a better way to grow, restoring joy and curiosity to life. Ambleside is a Christ-centered community committed to bringing up the whole child, mind, body, and soul. Our three-pillar approach to education.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio